Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings, with your host Ram. And well, one thing that I would like to speak about is about Keaton Jennings. Keaton Jennings making his debut for England yesterday in the first ever Test match. This was his first taste of international cricket. He was actually playing, as you know, he was in Dubai. Hasim Hamid got injured, and England decided to bring Keaton Jennings, and one really understood that what was the reason he was the captain of the England Lions squad. As today he did something which probably one definitely even Keaton Jennings would not have imagined. What he did is he went on to score a century on debut, and especially considering the fact that he's coming to India for the first time, he's also India has some quality spinners like Ravichandran Ashwin, and the way he handled the spinners, well, one has to really doff the hat to Keaton Jennings, and Keaton Jennings now has really put this English selection in a quandary. Hasib Hamid could not make a century, and here comes Keaton Jennings replacing him and coming and scoring a century. What a wonderful effort from this young bloke, Keaton Jennings. He was totally impressive. He got real praises from all the cricketing experts, and why not? So Keaton Jennings has really put this English selection in a quandary as to who is going to be the partner to cook now. Because on his debut, he has come and scored 112 in an England score which read 288 for 5 on the first day of the fourth test match here at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Now, so that is something I'll be looking at. And the South African tour, as you know, Sri Lanka would be touring South Africa, and we all know what a tough tour that is going to be. And Sri Lanka have actually named their test squad. So have a look at the squad. There is a new guy by the name Vikum Sanjaya, who really bowls very quick, I'm told, and he's the one who has been selected. So we will look at that later, but first let's head towards the first day's play that happened yesterday between England and India. It was the fourth test match at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. But before I start this, let me tell you, this has never happened. In 83 years, it has never happened that not a single Mumbai player, local player, was playing in the Indian team. Mumbai's cricket has been so strong that you rarely could see a team without a Mumbai player. And just because Ajinkya Rahane was injured, it was a situation where in a span of 83 years, this was the first time that there was not a single Mumbai player in the Indian squad. So the toss was a very good toss to win, one thought. It was Ashton Cook who actually won the toss and elected to bat. And as far as the changes were concerned, well, Keaton Jennings making his debut, which was expected, and also there was Jake Ball given an opportunity to actually play in this England squad. Even though Stuart Broad could not play, one was probably thinking whether Stephen Finn would take his place. But contrary to expectations, I would say England sprung a surprise by getting in the inexperienced Jake Ball into the mix. And as far as India were concerned, India also had a lot of changes there. If you look at the squad, they decided to have Bhuvaneshwar Kumar in the squad. That is because Mohammad Shami was not there, as I said. And just talking about the game here, England, as I said, it was a nice toss to win. And as you know, always at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, the initial stages, you definitely have juice in the pitch where the seamers could exploit. And it all started off, definitely it was exploited. Now, let's have a look here, in a sense, how things all started. So England started off in a very cautious manner. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was definitely getting the ball to swing. Umesh Yadav was also bowling with lots of pace. And Keaton Jennings, all the eyes were on Keaton Jennings. And India would have probably thought that they could get a quick breakthrough. But they definitely, they were absolutely right that they could get a quick breakthrough. But look at what happened. Keaton Jennings, the left-handed batsman, was in the sense he initially one thought that he was dealing with the Indian bowlers well, and then comes Umesh Yadav. He has not even got off the mark. And what a delivery from Umesh Yadav. Bowled at 143 clicks. Keaton Jennings was trying to casually glide that ball to the point, and suddenly the ball reared up. I mean, it was the ball reared up, and Jennings was in a very awkward position, and he fended the ball into the gully region, and it was Karun Nair who could have taken the catch. If they have taken the catch, that would have been a bit difficult catch, one could say, because the ball was actually flying away from Karun Nair. Karun Nair has to leap for that, but he could not, probably got his fingernails onto that, and the ball could not settle. But what a delivery from Umesh Yadav. And Keaton Jennings would have been in the pavilion at that particular juncture, and India would have got a quick breakthrough. But nothing of that sort happened, and after that Keaton Jennings hurt India in only the way that he could. What was good about that, even after that drop which happened, we saw Keaton Jennings getting getting a beautiful rip-roaring pull into the fence, and he showed that he was not someone who was shaken by the fact that such a delivery came. He actually pulled the pace bowlers for a boundary, and he showed that he could handle the short stuff very well, which was good to see. And what was good about Keaton Jennings was not only about handling the short stuff, and he was definitely playing inside the crease, in the sense he was going deep inside the crease and playing, but later on, and his defense was also good. And then finally we also saw Keaton Jennings showing some real gusto, I would say, as he was dancing down the wicket to the spinners, as he smote some boundaries too. And we saw the way he actually handled the spinners, and that was a real sight, especially considering the fact that he was dropped by Karun Nair. Keaton Jennings definitely showed that he has great match temperament as he started, and one was thinking that probably the spinners would be the answer for that, but even Ravichandran Ashwin could not come up with anything for Keaton Jennings. And Ravichandran Ashwin, Jayant Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, everyone bowled well, but Keaton Jennings was something special. He dealt with the Indian spin bowlers, and that is what, as I said, was something very, very significant, because Keaton Jennings, for the first time, he might have been facing Ravichandran Ashwin and the Indian spinners, and what a splendid performance from Keaton Jennings. I mean, one really has to doff our hats to Keaton Jennings for putting up such a performance. And Keaton Jennings, as I said, has really put these English selectors into a selection quandary, and Hasib Hamid returns back after his injury. So Alistair Cook, so as I said, I wanted to talk about Keaton Jennings because he was the man who really was the cynosure of all eyes yesterday at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Alistair Cook, Alistair Cook was really put in the shade. I mean, he was slowly doing his job, but we also saw that Alistair Cook could change this game a bit. I mean, we saw that the England were very always on the defensive, but yesterday they probably had a game plan, and we saw there was a lot of foot movement. Cook was really coming down the wicket to drive the bowlers. It was good to see, and this partnership had added 99 runs for the first wicket, and that was the time India had to really wait for the breakthrough. The first session going without a wicket, and then finally it was Alistair Cook leaving his crease to the bowling of Jadeja, was beaten by the delivery, and it was Parthiv Patel who did some good glove work to actually whip off the bails, and that was the first wicket for India as Alistair Cook was gone. Stump Patel of the bowling of Jadeja for 46 5 boundaries. So that is 99 for 1. Joe Root joined, but Joe Root, well, he could not do much. He made 21 with 1 boundary, and then he tried to play a ball from Ravichandran Ashwin. I mean, he played a ball from Ashwin which was tossed up. He actually played away from his body, and the catch was well taken because it was going on the wrong side of Kohli. Probably Kohli thought he might have anticipated it on the other side, and suddenly the ball changed direction. Kohli had to change direction and snap up the catch. So Joe Root was gone, caught Kohli, bowled Ashwin for 21, which made it 136 for 2, and then Moeen Ali came in, and Keaton Jennings on the other end was going strong. He was gaining in confidence, we saw everything was getting much better for Keaton Jennings, and Keaton Jennings was, I would say, probably playing like an experienced player out there in the middle, in the company of Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali took his time. I mean, Moeen Ali was the one who really bided his time at the crease, allowing Keaton Jennings to have Keaton Jennings to have his way there, and Moeen Ali was the one who was really got himself into a shell. But nevertheless, Moeen Ali was doing a good job, and then it was Ravichandran Ashwin who picked up the wicket of Moeen Ali. When Moeen Ali, trying to attempt a sweep shot of the bowling of Ashwin, was caught by Nair, and Moeen Ali was gone for 50 with 4 fours and 1 6. And then we saw Jonathan Bairstow trying to hit a short ball. Before that, we saw Jennings. And Jennings, look at this. I mean, look at the way he actually got his century. He got to his century on his debut with a reverse sweep. Now, reverse sweep is something probably one would have not attempted, but he was on his 90s, and he had the gumption such was his confidence probably, and he had the confidence to actually attempt a reverse sweep, and that reverse sweep actually he reversed up the ball for 4. So he also showed that he has a lot of innovation also into his stroke play here, as Jennings got a century, and what a century. Really deserves a lot of credit for that, and England would be absolutely they would be thrilled with the way Keaton Jennings played, as Keaton Jennings finally was a victim, and that was a relief for India too, as Keaton Jennings was caught by Pujara of the bowling of Ashwin after making 112 on his test debut, 13 fours, and he was the 5th Englishman to do so on debut. After that, it was the score was 2. After that, we saw Jonathan Bairstow trying to hit a short delivery from Ashwin, and in the process skied the ball. It went off the top edge, and Umesh Yadav picked up the catch. He was gone for 14 with 1 4. That was just before close of play. And finally, when stumps were drawn for the day at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai in the 4th Test match of the first day's play, it was Ben Stokes who was not out on 25 with 2 boundaries. And I would say Ben Stokes absolutely survived a wonderful delivery from Ashwin, which did all sorts of things. And we definitely saw that the ball, there was a bit of turn available during the final stages of the day. And Ben Stokes would really have to thank himself. The ball eluded everything and even the stumps and went to the wicket keeper. So Ben Stokes was still there, so he was not out on 25 with 2 boundaries. Josh Butler was not out on 18 with 2 boundaries, and they saw England through from 249 for 5 to relative safety at 288 for 5 at close of play. As far as the bowling was concerned, Bhuvneshwar Kumar definitely bowled well. 11 overs, no maiden, none for 38. Umesh Yadav did a splendid job, I thought. 10 overs, 2 maidens, none for 36. He really showed some real pace there, and especially would have definitely, if he had got the wicket of Keaton Jennings, the story would have been different to tell. But as it happens in cricket, lives are always there for cricketers, for the batsmen. Ravichandran Ashwin, 30 overs, 3 maidens. Whatever be the case, Ravichandran Ashwin was the one who took the lion's share of the wickets. 30 overs, 3 maidens, 75 runs and 4 wickets. But look at that. I mean, he took all those wickets, but the wicket of Jennings also was there, but he could not get the wicket of Jennings early. And Jennings, as I said, really deserves a lot of credit for this wonderful innings that he has played, and it is going to go a long way for him now in the future. Jayant Yadav, 22 overs, 3 minutes, 1 for 78, and Ravindra Jadeja, 21 overs, 3 minutes, 1 for 60. And one thing at the Mumbai in Wankhede Stadium is that you can trust the pitch with the bounce, and it says that probably from the 3rd day onwards we will have some turn on the pitch too. So, but probably it might not be the appreciable turn that we saw in the previous test matches, but definitely there'll be some turn there'll be assistance for the spinners for sure. Well, so today it will be Josh Butler and Ben Stokes will be resuming operations, in the sense they will be resuming their batting, and they still have some batting to come in the form of Chris Wokes, Adil Rashid. So there's still some batting to come. So they would definitely be hoping that this pair could actually help them get the score onto the 400 mark to have a psychological advantage over the Indians in the 4th test match. Well, so that is as far as the second day's play. And second day's play, probably as I'm talking to you, probably 2.5 hours away from play starting at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai in the fourth Test match. Well, so from here, so it was basically, I would say, the first day's play at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai belonged to Keaton Jennings, and Keaton Jennings for sure won't forget the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, as he has made he started his career there. On debut, he went on to make a century, and what a century that was to frustrate the Indians. Now let's talk about the other cricket news here, and we are talking about Sri Lanka's squad that has been named, the Test squad that has been named for the tour of South Africa. The surprise including there's an uncapped fast bowler in the squad by the name Vikum Sanjaya. And Vikum Sanjaya, just to tell you what Vikum Sanjaya's dad did, is that he's 24 years of age. He has played for the under-19 team, but he bowls at speeds of around 135 clicks, so on a consistent level. And the one thing that they say about Vikum Sanjaya is that he definitely has a wonderful outswinger. The outswinger is the one which has nipped up the wickets for him, and he was also a part of the 20-man fast bowling academy squads, and that was the chief selector. Sanat Jayasuriya, the former great player, has said about Vikum Sanjaya, and they feel that Vikum Sanjaya on South African pitches could really be someone that they could experiment with, especially considering the pacey and bouncy pitches that one is going to find in South Africa. But definitely it is going to be a tough tour for Sri Lanka, no doubt about it. And the good news for Sri Lanka is that all those persons who actually missed the previous tour against Zimbabwe, Dinesh Chandimal is back, Angelo Matthews is back, Nuwan Pradeep and Dushmantha Chamira are also back. So definitely the Sri Lankans would be happy that they are getting into full strength here, and that is very, very essential if they have to go and beat South Africa. So Angelo Matthews will be the captain of the side. Dinesh Chandimal, Kushal Mendes, Kushal Pereira, Dimuth Karnaratne, Kaushal Silva, Dhananjay De Silva. So it looks a very good blend of players as far as Sri Lanka is concerned. Upal Tharanga, Lairu Kumara, Vikum Sanjaya, the new cap, Nuwan Pradeep, Dushmantha Chamira, Suranga Lakmal, Dilrohan Pereira Rangana. The only man to miss to me would be Damika Prasad. Damika Prasad could not make it to the squad as he's still carrying that injury, which is unfortunate. But as far as the persons who are out of the squad are Niroshan Dikwala, Lairu Gamage, but Asila Gunaratne definitely impressed, as you know. But I think there's healthy competition in the Sri Lankan squad, and that's the precise reason Asila Gunaratne now has to definitely wait for his chance. And Lakshan Sandakan, who did a wonderful job when the Aussies were here in Sri Lanka as a Chinaman bowler, was not selected, and Dilruwan Pereira, probably for his batting, was selected. So that is as far as the Sri Lankan tour of South Africa is concerned. The Test squad has been named, and just before I leave, probably we are looking at probably 1.5 hours from now, where the Chappell Hadley Trophy series will come to its conclusion. One knows that Australia have already won the Chappell Hadley Trophy series. Probably Australia, after getting the drubbing in South Africa, would probably be thinking that they could do a clean sweep of the Kiwis. As you know, the Trans-Tasman neighbours, as you know, like Indo-Pakistan clashes, Australia and New Zealand clashes are also very special, and Australia, I'm sure, are not going to give an inch, and they are going to see to it that not only have they won the Chappell Hadley Trophies ODI series, but also they complete a clean sweep. And New Zealand, for them, just before returning to their home country, they would hope that they could put it across Australia and take a consolation win and leave on a very, very good winning note. Well, good luck to both the teams, and may the best team win. And that's it. That's it for today as far as the Cricket Happening show is concerned. And there'll be more cricket happenings tomorrow. Till such time that happens, it's good night.